Hi, I'm Dr. Carol Francis, and again, we're going to be talking about the 12 R's. This is class number 3 and course number 2, and it's all about reframing. Now, the word reframe is actually pretty commonplace nowadays. Just take a situation and just reframe it to something else. So, if a boss is mean to you and they're bullying you, you can go home and be all stirred up about it, and then you can say, I'm going to reframe this as an opportunity for me to learn how to respond a little more cleverly, a little more diplomatically, a little more self-respectfully, so you practice the response given what event you have. And so that reframing is, this is an opportunity for me to practice what I needed to do in that situation that I didn't do. And that's a way of reframing it. Oh, it's a learning opportunity. I wish it didn't happen, but it's a learning opportunity. Well, that's kind of a simple case scenario. You have more complex events that may have taken place in your life. And so you have to think about how you're going to reframe those moments in a way that allow you to use it as a learning experience for your present and your future. That's a difficult step to take. I'll give you an example of an individual. Again, she's not my patient. I'll call her Jennifer. Um, so I've read about this, but not associated to me as a client or patient in any way, shape, or form. So Jennifer was on a college campus, and she was walking out of the class at nighttime like she did most often, and she was enjoying her walk back to her sorority. And this was not an uncommon thing for her to do, but there was a part of the walk that was all by herself. At nighttime, it was kind of creepy. The shadows were long and dark, and as she was going along, she just got this kind of feeling in her pit of her stomach. And sure enough, someone dodged out of the bushes, wrapped something over her head, started to strangle her so she couldn't fight very well, tied her hands up with tape, and then dragged her into a van. He took her someplace, he raped her and clobbered her and just did horrible things to her, not once, but many, many times. And then he drove the van back and dumped her body in one of the big dumpsters on the campus. The next day, a dog was just barking loudly, and a jogger came by and saw what the dog was barking on and found Jennifer's body. Wow, well, this is huge trauma. This is huge trauma. And for her to work this through has so many stages to it. After about 2 years, she went back to the school and she became a member of the same sorority. And she decided that she was going to, now major in trauma recovery medicine. So that was going to be her focus in trauma recovery medicine, because she wanted to go into the biologies. And now she was very oriented toward helping human beings. She had gone through so much recovery work with people. She was treated all sorts of different ways, good and bad, by medical professionals, police, psychotherapists, that she now had a real sense of what was quality and what was not. She decided she was going to put on a program that was going to help her sorority about what do you do in case you've been raped, and what you do in case one of your friends has been raped. What are the best responses that will help your friend? And also what the resources are for being able to recover. Not only did she give this presentation course to a sorority, but the fraternities came. And then the school officials came from the different counseling services, as well as the human resources and the student overseers, and then of course the newspapers, and even the police department came. The security division of the campus came. So this was not a course she taught once. She did this many, many times. It was highly successful, highly helpful. And because of what she went through, she really knew what she was talking about. And she was not a novice in this sort of situation. That's called reframing. That's taking a situation, reframing it to make it something that's beneficial to yourself and to others. To take this horror that you're going through while you're recovering and eventually turning it into something that's going to be beneficial for others. Frankly, it's what I have done, not under those circumstances, but what I have done. I've taken the enormity of the experiences that I had that are not as big as some and not as little as others, and said, you know what? I know how to do this recovery. I know how to shift into thriving. I know how to move forward. And I'm going to make sure that there's an online course available for people, a book that's available for people, and definitely the psychotherapy I do with people is very oriented toward this whole process of recovering your way, because recovery is, as one of my friends who's a veteran from the Vietnam War said, Recovery is a very private experience. And it is, because it's very individualized. There's no one template or formula that works for everyone. And that's why there are 72 different classes here. There's like 500 different meditations that are offered that are about all sorts of different issues. And you have all of these different resources available to you from experiencers and from professionals that have been through this and know how to help people. Why are you being given so much information? Because you're going to have to create those aspects of recovery that work for you. And so in using reform, like you are going to reframe this in order to reform what it is you experienced into something that's beneficial to you first and to others perhaps as well. And what's really nice is that you don't even have to reveal what you've gone through to be of help to other people. So it's not like you have to become real vulnerable or expose yourself and others when you don't want to. You can be helpful regardless. And that sense of, I can help others because of what I've endured, is a process of reframing. There are other ways that you can use reframing, and you're going to see that throughout these different courses. So keep that in mind. Do the knowledge gain, do the meditations, do the self-reflection, and just think about how you can take an event and look at it from a different perspective. Like it's like a perspective shift. How do I look? Maybe I can look at it from this way. Maybe I can look at it from this way. And when we talk about forgiveness, we're actually going to look at it from many ways, and it will be related to reframing as well. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you on the next class. Bye.